All right, so I'm almost caught up on all the questions. I got a few more I'm going to try to get through here. The first two coming from Meyer. Now, the first one, he's basically just looking for confirmation. He basically said, is the orientation of the lats the reason our capacity to produce force when performing shoulder extension is greater than when performing shoulder adduction? Yes, that's likely the primary reason. The next question has to do with the sumo deadlift in relation to the traditional deadlift, and that with the sumo, you got a wider stance, so when you lift the bar off the ground, it's not going to travel as far by the time you reach the end of the range of motion as if you had a narrower stance. So the question is, does less range equal less work being done? Well, not in this context, because the wider stance will undoubtedly affect the recruitment pattern and actually increase the demand on some muscles at the expense of others. And this ties into the follow-up question, which is, what's the better muscle builder, the sumo deadlift or the traditional deadlift? It depends on what muscles you want to load and your capacity to load them when using that exercise. It's not that one's better than the other. It depends on why you are doing it. Now, before I get to the next two comments, I want to say this real quick. There's no such thing as a stupid question, just a stupid person. Now, the next two comments come from a guy whose screen name is zenrr1. The first one comes in response to a video in which I explained why the deadlift, without making any changes to it, is a better muscle builder for some people than it is for others. Then this guy writes, this could be said about any movement. By making changes to make yourself not be good at the movement, you stimulate your muscles more. Gee, that's a great observation, zenrr1. Too bad you failed to observe that I was talking about the deadlift without making any changes. Now, his next comment comes in response to a video in which I presented a strategy designed to preferentially stimulate, that means to recruit and fatigue, fast twitch fibers. Fast twitch fibers don't rely on oxygen, therefore they have a lower sustainability than slow twitch fibers. So you can cater the way you do what you do to preferentially recruit and fatigue the fast twitch ones. Remember, a muscle fiber that's not both recruited and fatigued is not trained. Then this guy asks, are there any studies you could point to that demonstrate that? No, because it's based off logic and understanding how muscle fibers are both recruited and fatigued. If the weight is heavy enough, you're going to maximize recruitment. If the volume is low enough, what's the likeliness that you're going to recruit and fatigue the slow twitch fibers? It's significantly lower. So by default, you will be preferentially stimulating the fast twitch ones. Then this guy asked me if I ever heard of the size principle, which I thought was kind of funny because he didn't even know it was called Henneman's size principle. But if you read the comments, he'll now know that. So I want to give a shout out to Little Miss Harbor real quick for schooling him on that one. Now the last comment comes from WITTTEK. He said, how come not many people know about this channel? You're doing a very good job here. So first off, thank you for the positive feedback and the support. I'm very appreciative and grateful for that. But I have my suspicions as to why not many people know about this channel. Now, I realize that nobody owes me anything, but I would bet that it has to do with people just not sharing my shit. At the end of every video, I used to say, if you like this information, do for others what I've done for you. Pass it forward, share it, it's free. But that didn't seem to work. So now what I say, whether you like this information or not, whether you share this information or not, whether you click the fucking button at the bottom of the screen that you're looking at, subscribe to the channel and support me or not, ain't nothing gonna stop me from continuing, because this motherfucker right here has been continuing to provide the absolute best information you're ever gonna find in your lifetime. Search far and wide. You ain't gonna find better, at least as it relates to training to build muscle, get stronger, lose fat, look better, perform better, all that fucking shit. Nothing's gonna stop me from trying to empower as many people as humanly possible for free, whether they share my shit or not. And if you can't respect that, your whole perspective is whack.